we're going to move on. So the next bit of news is Marty Jannetty has got a divorce again. So Dutch actually sent me this a few days ago, and we discussed it on Storytime with Dutch Mantel. Obviously, when we're talking about this, there's going to be a few days delay between, because this is for WSI and not the main podcast. Will be more current on the main podcast, of course. So, says, old Party Marty is divorcing his wife of less than 1 month after getting married in Florida, with the wedding being officiated by the wife of Brutus Beefcake, Missy Beefcake. If anyone saw the Greg Valentine interview on WSI, then you may have heard Missy Beefcake's name before. Jannetty, clearly a Roxette fan, recently posted on Facebook, "It must have been love, but it's over now. Divorce on the way. Got backstabbed by 2 of my best friends. One of them lives here. Not much longer, though. P.S. It hurts a little, but I'm used to hurting with the ladies. No problem. There's another one waiting." So Marty's already getting back on the horse.
Wow. Well, he has my heart. When my heart gets broken, it takes me like a little more than a week to get over it. But wow, does the article literally open with old Marty? What did you say? Old Party Marty?
I wrote that.
Oh,
bit. Okay. I wrote that bit. Old Party
we
Marty.
need to be accurate for that, because I was like, man, that person just went for it in the article, didn't they?
No, I'm sorry. That was my conjecture, as it were.
Well, I have to say, Marty's always been really friendly. He's a very easygoing, laid-back guy. There are some crazy stories that I heard and almost experienced riding with Marty Jannetty and Raven back from a MCW show, if you want to hear that.
Yes, of course I do. Absolutely.
Okay, young Stevie Richards with Raven, nervous, meets Marty Jannetty. Marty's very friendly, but I'm still very nervous because Marty Jannetty's a huge TV star. I didn't tell him this because he'd probably get pissed, but I grew up watching Marty Jannetty. By the way, young wrestlers, do not ever say that. I grew up watching you, which I laugh, but some people take it very, very wrong. So we're riding back from MCW, which is a promotion that's still out there. So if you're in the Maryland area, check them out. They have great talent, great shows. We're riding back, and I think I was driving or Raven was driving. Marty was in the back seat, and he goes, "Hey, stop in front of this house." And Raven's like, "Why? Just stop in front of the house." And I was like, "Oh, we're going to see one of his friends or something or whatever." And Raven's like, "Oh, well, what's the address?" He goes, "Oh, no, don't worry about it. Just stop at any house." And that's the way I kind of recall it, because that was the first red flag. Then Raven was like, "Well, what do you want to stop here for?" He's like, "Oh, I'm just going to kick the door down, run through the house, say hello to everybody, and come out the back door." Which he had done more times than he was much more familiar than I could have realized. I was terrified. I'm like, we're going to do a home invasion on people at like 11 o'clock at night or midnight. He didn't get out of the car, thank God, but he was dead set on, and it was a thing that I had heard about afterwards. Oh yeah, Marty just kind of bust into somebody's house, run through the house, say hello, go out the back door and go back to the car. Now, whether or not he has done that in reality, I can say he was ready to do it that night. And I was just thinking about it. I was scared. Like, we're going to prison. And I'm just in the car. So like, if he literally grabbed something, stalled and left, now I'm an accessory to breaking and entry, burglary. If it's an expensive thing, grand theft, grand larceny, maybe grand theft auto. For all I know, the car was stolen. It wasn't. We had Raven's car, but yes, that's a Marty Jannetty story.
Who talked him off the ledge? Did you just keep driving, or not given the opportunity?
I have no idea. We stopped. So if he had just gotten out and did it, I would have been like, well, what do we do now? You know?
Oh my goodness me, Marty.
Now that's an example. You have a question here that we're going to touch either on this episode or another one, like riding with people, rooming with people, all that stuff. That was one of the first examples of, I'm going to drive alone and I'm going to stay in my own hotel. Now, once again, the legitimacy or the credibility that this was a thing Marty Jannetty had done, these were just stories. Now, from what I've heard over the past couple of years, maybe not the most nefarious Marty Jannetty story that I've ever heard or maybe experienced. I would much rather be in the car for a potential home invasion than be in the bowling alley that night when Marty talked about that stuff.
Yeah.
We won't get into that because that was.
We'll leave that for now. We'll leave that for now, but you never know. That could be something that comes up.
So I might, on the smartboard, put up the picture of the house and annotate it how he planned to make this happen.